You would in a regular battles game. Just because you have a lot of money does not mean you can be lackadaisical here. Just go for farms. Alright, farm, like hardcore. Here I already have 4-0 farms by round 4. What is up guys, Mazurubo here, and today I'm going to show you how to win every single game you ever play in Bananza. If you watch this video, you will win every single time. I mean, it might take a little bit of practice if you find someone who's really, really good at this game. It might take a little bit of practice on how to micro, but in all honesty, you're going to win 99.5% of your games. Okay, so it starts off with this loadout, the ninja, the farm, and the ace. And the only weakness is like super late game. So if you can find a late game tower, use it. That's not a late game tower. That's not a late game tower either. But okay, so I got a little bit unlucky. But if you get a late game tower, that's what you want. Super Monkey's great. You know, laser cannons, or sorry, Ray of Dooms, great as well. So what you got to do is you've got to go for farms. Farms, of course, are the #1 thing you have to go for. Just gotta. Oops. Didn't exactly mean to put it there, but okay. So you start off with the farms, alright? You have to do it. You have to start off with the farm and put down all 3 sets of spikes and use them. Go as long as you can. If your opponent starts to send balloons, you won't be able to put farms down as long. But just put farms down, guys. I have put down 4 farms before I do anything. 4-0 farms. If you don't want to lose any lives, just go for 3. I'm generally down about 80 or so after I go for a 4th. So this guy is going to rush me, it looks like, so it looks like I am going to need to go ahead and put down my ninja. Now if you do get a good balloon popping power tower, you could always try to put him down. My ninja is going to be good enough though. I'm just going to kind of show it to you just in case you don't have a balloon popping power tower. So, just farm. Get as minimum of a defense as possible, just like you would in a regular battles game. Just because you have a lot of money does not mean you can be lackadaisical here. Just go for farms. Alright, farm like hardcore. Here I already have 4-0 farms by round 4. Alright, step 2. After you get 4-0 farms, get up your basic defense, then you're going to go for 1 3rd-tier farm, the Banana Republic. So as you can already tell, just because I farmed early and he got his defense slightly earlier, even if you get the exact same defense, and I get my defense on round 3 and he gets his defense on round 1, I'm going to have a massive lead in farms. That's how much money you get from farms to begin the round. By the way, I am not going to send, actually I'm not going to send him any blacks, just because I don't want to accidentally kill him. I'm just going to kind of play. I'm going to allow him to do his absolute best. And then what you do is you wait till 6,700 bucks, sell your 3-0 farms, and boom, you've got yourself a 4th-tier farm. And I got it by round 6. I never actually got it by round 5, but I'm guessing if you have 0 defense and somehow you can survive, say like you're playing practice mode or something and you can get Bananza, I'm not sure if that's even possible, you can set down like 10 sets of road spikes, then that might be possible for a victory. And then guys, doesn't matter, keep going. Then what you do is you go straight for a 3rd-tier farm, and then you save up the money, go straight for a 4th-tier farm. This is the point, by the way, if your opponent sends yellow balloons at you, a 4th-tier ninja can defend, alright? So just keep that in mind, so I'm just going to kind of save him the cash. If he rushes you right after you get a farm, sometimes you just got to boost, you know, okay, so here he goes, regrows. Now, of course, he boosted, so I'm going to get up. I'm just going to get up that defense right there. So that's easy peasy. Of course, I'm actually just going to go ahead and sell that guy so I can go ahead and boom, boom. Alright, awesome. So I've got 2 4th-tier farms. Now I can kill this guy, but I'm not going to until round 13, because that's when you normally get to kill your opponent, or even round 12. So here we go. I'm going to go for another farm. This guy sends leads. I'm going to put down my 3rd-tier ninja. If he sends it too early. If not, once I get my 3rd farm, that is... I could go for a 4th farm, because I'm doing pretty well. You can decide, 3rd or 4th farm, depending on how well you're doing, depending on how well your opponent's doing. You can decide whether or not you want to get up your 4th-tier ace, and that is not the Ground Zero, but the Spectre. Look how fast I got that Spectre, guys. That's why you're going to win every freaking game you play. You're going to have so much money. And for the safety purposes, because I have so much cash, I'm going to go for another. Make sure it's a 4-2. You don't want to die to camo balloons. If you want to be safe, put down a right-sided ninja, and then at this point, rush with regrow camo rainbows. Looks like that guy's doing the same thing to me, but he's going to die to the camo. That's why you always camoify it if you have the money. He's dead. Oops. You win every single time. Now, you may not win on round 13 because Rego Camo Rainbows are easy to defend. I tell you, very easy if you know what you're doing. Like, for instance, I just defended a bunch of Regrow Rainbows. Easy. They didn't even show up on the screen because I had the Spectres. Spectres are great. Of course, it's because I had the money for it as well, guys. So, what if you don't? What if you don't kill in round 13? Well, that's where it gets a little bit more tricky. And I may not necessarily get a game. Some people may not be able to survive. Nobody may survive in this video. Oop, he disconnected. By the way, I was not going for a Dart Monkey. I was about to X him out. Okay. Again, how do you start? You start off with the Ninja, the Farm, and the Ace. Okay, you need 4th tier for all of this. Because you go 4th tier Farms, you go 4th tier Ninjas, and you go 4th tier Airplanes. You're getting the most out of every single one of your towers. It's as simple as that. Now, that is obviously easy to get to round 13. There are a lot of tower combinations that can do that. Why do I go with the Ninja and the Ace as my 2 towers? Well, the Ninja and the Ace also are pretty darn good against literally every single possible rush. They are an amazing combination. So if your opponent defends and you go to hashtag epic late game, actually, I'm going to skip Battle Rover. One thing you can decide if you want to skip maps is, you skipped it, is one that you can't put too many farms down. I'll go for mine. The reason why I'm going to go for mine is because I think my opponent will be able to defend a little bit easier on mine, and that way we can. I kind of want to go late game because I want to show you how this can also win on late game. So Dart Monkey's not too good late game. Okay, so no, I don't get late game. But these 2 towers are literally amazing. Let me explain. So again, what do? I start off with a farm. Try to get it down before the start of round 1 because you get 2, count them, 2 bananas. That's a free $240 if you get it down fast enough. Okay, now this I will show you. If this guy doesn't rush me, I will go for 4 2-0 farms. Pretty darn cool, I know. So there I go, put down all my spikes. And you're going to see just how quickly I get a huge advantage on this guy for not farming as much as he should. So again, you farm like crazy. Farm like crazy. Do not put anything down before you get a 2nd tier farm and a 1st tier farm minimum, even if he starts sitting red balloons immediately on short maps. On long maps like this, if you start sitting, you can probably get down a 2nd tier farm and a 1st tier farm before the balloons get far enough that you need to start worrying about defending them. Of course, don't want to allow 149 balloons to walk through your defense. You want to keep a reasonable amount of lives, but you know. So as you can tell, I'm going to get my 4 2-0 farms going before I start losing any lives. There we go. Now I need to obviously defend. So that means get ready for my ninja. Go ninja! And I'm going to only lose about 40 lives there. That's pretty darn good. Alright, that's it. Now I'll go for more farms. Okay, let's just assume my opponent defends, which he's not. I can almost guarantee. I mean, he can scrounge together enough money still to defend a infinite regrow camo rainbow rush. But if my opponent does defend, what you're going to do is you're going to just farm. You're going to put down as many farms as you can on the map. Probably up to 8 maximum. 6 or 7 minimum, depending on how much space. You know, certain maps only allow a certain amount of $6,700 by the way, guys. So I sell. Only allow a few farms, and that can be a little tricky on small maps, small farms. But we won't worry about that right now. So again, I get my farms going, and once you get your 6 to 8 farms or so, you have enough money to literally get a defense, and then. This is kind of where it takes a little bit of skill, but not really that much. You just start putting down ninjas in every possible place. You put down 1 or 2 specters, probably 2 specters. In my opinion, ninjas are slightly better per space, because I think you can put down at least 4 ninjas in the space of 1 specter. And specters aren't that amazing against ZOMGs, but you know, you could try testing ninjas versus specters. As far as like based on space or price. And you put down 2 or 3 specters, and then you just start cramming the space full of 4-2 ninjas. And then, guys, make sure that you put down 6 or 7, 6 minimum, if you're perfect at micro, 6 or 7 of these 2-4 ninjas so that you can slow down any rushes your opponent sends at you. And try to fill that up. Try to fill that up by the time you start getting to where your opponent can start sending you infinite ZOMGs. Of course, you need to also save some space for 2 or so specters. Sorry, not specters, ground zeros. Because you see the ace also has a ground zero ability. So let your ninjas pop the ZOMG layers. And then you're basically set. You're basically set. Just keep going and start sending infinite ZOMGs, because 8 farms is enough to send infinite ZOMGs. And then you generally can beat your opponents, even if they have Super Monkey and Wizards. Super Monkey, Wizards, and something else, because they can't send infinite ZOMGs, like say they didn't get the farm. If they got super lucky and sent, say, or got like Wizards, Super Monkeys, Aces, and farms, then that could be interesting. But I've actually beaten people with farms, Super Monkey, and Banana and Wizard, and I forget what the other tower was. It wasn't too interesting. But because I could send infinite ZOMGs and they did not. They probably could have actually, but if they didn't, oh yeah, that's why. See, the problem is once you start getting temples down, it's kind of hard to get your farms down as well, because they eat your farms, and if you have to put them back down afterwards, you don't have too much room for tech terrors. And plain vanilla temples or temples with just the wizard sacrifices, they're not too strong, and actually ZOMGs will eventually get through them. And so really, unless your opponent just gets really lucky with their tower choices and gets a good map where you can't farm too well or something like that, and you don't get a good extra tower like I haven't gotten. Oh, Chipper, that's a good one. Chipper, of course, you can go for the right-sided 4th-tier chippers. The left-sided 4th-tier chippers are all dangerous to go even more late game. So really, that's pretty darn easy wins for you, because most of your opponents aren't going to do that. And if you just send infinite ZOMGs, your defense is going to be good enough. Just send infinite ZOMGs. If they send infinite ZOMGs back, just make sure that you continue sending or putting down your or clicking your sabotage supply line abilities. And then really, after that, if necessary, depending on the lateness, you'll have to start to ground zero. Just buy and resell ground zeros. You have enough money for it, So, that's basically it. That's how you defend. That's how you kill people. You send infinite ZOMGs non-stop. One time, it took me 6 rounds. And it probably would have taken me a couple more rounds, but my opponent surrendered. But it took me 6 rounds of non-stop ZOMG sending before my opponent, who had actually the same loadout as me, but just didn't do it as well, died before I died. Actually, no, that person didn't have the same loadout as me. I think they had Cobras for one of their towers. Yeah, they had Cobras and ninjas and aces, but they didn't fill the map. Like I said, you got to. They didn't fill the map, and they actually put Cobras down. So I had to start defending infinite ZOMGs on round like 13. And it was really scary, but eventually I got past that and started sending infinite ZOMGs, and that person then had to start defending. That person didn't spam the ground zero or ground zero and a bunch of ninjas. He just did ground zero, and eventually he started getting behind, got tired, and didn't want to play anymore. So yeah, that is basically how you win these games. Again, you go for the 4 2-0 farms, a 2-0 ninja, 2-1 ninja, preferably after your 3rd 2nd-tier farm or 4th 2nd-tier farm. No earlier unless your opponent sends balloons at you. And then go for your 4th-tier farm or 3rd-tier farm, and then as soon as you have 6,700 bucks, boom, 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 you get a 4th tier farm, and then go for straight 4-2, and then after that you go straight for the next 4th tier. You don't buy anything else. And you get 2 or 3 of those guys, or 3 or 4. You get your ninja down as much as you need to, and like maybe a 3rd tier, 4th tier sometimes is necessary, and boom, you have basically defended everything you need to. So I have found on round 7 sometimes I struggle with this round 7 rush, so I'm actually just going to kind of let the balloons go. No, I'm not. I have enough money. I have a huge lead. No reason to let more lives slip with a huge lead, right? Look at my farm differential. This guy definitely has a defense, but he's going to die to the regrow camo rainbow rush again. Guys, it's not too hard to defend an infinite camo regrow rainbow rush if you farm. And then, for instance, this guy needs to put down a few sabotage supply lines, and then he probably needs something more than ninjas and wizards, to be totally honest. But enough ninjas will eventually defend an infinite camo regrow rainbow rush, just for your information. So here I go. I'm going to go for one more, just because I can. Then I'm going to go for my wizard. Look how fast my money's coming in, guys. Just look at it. Don't tell me you can't defend an infinite regrow rainbow rush if you farm like this, okay? No excuses. Look at that. Boom. Hey, do I want another one? Why the heck not? Boom. Look at that. You get that much of a defense. Oh, and that's perfect. Look at that. They're both exactly opposite of each other. That's just awesome. Hey, if you want to, go ahead and go yeah. And infinite camo regrow rainbow rush. Oops. Always say oops if I can. Because they have been defeated. So that's all I'm going to have for you guys. I did not get to play any late game. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. Guys, this is how you win every single game in Bananza if you want to. I know some people want to go late game, but I mean, if you're looking to rack up some wins, get a better win percentage, or get some medallions if it's in a decently high medallion field, like I'm here in the Rainbow Ruins, which isn't too high for me, but it could be high for you. You can rack up a lot of medallions and a strong win percentage just by playing this over and over again and killing people around 13 or around 24, 25. So there you go, guys. That's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this, definitely make sure you press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more great content. And as always, have a great day, guys. Goodbye.